Welcome to the third video of chapter 1. In this video, we are going to discuss about indices. So consider here, if we have a number in the form of a to the power of n, where n is any positive integer will be 1, 2, 3, and etc. So a to the power of n represents you need to multiply a and by another a for n number of times. So for example, if you have a to the power of 3, meaning you need to multiply a 3 times. So a times a times a. So if I give another example in the form of number, if you have 2 to the power of 4, meaning you need to multiply 2 4 times. 2 times 2 times 2 and times another 2. So a here we call as base, where n here we call as index. There are 4 types of indices that we are going to learn today. So the first one is positive index, when you have a base with positive power. For example, the first one, you have negative 4 to the power of 6. See, 6 is a positive integer, so meaning you need to multiply negative 4 6 times. Okay, so negative 4 6 times. So I don't write all the negative 4 because we have a limited space here. So but actually for negative 4 to the power of 6, you need to multiply negative 4 for 6 times. So the same thing happened for the second example. You have 0.2 to the power of 3, meaning you need to multiply 0.2 for 3 times. Okay. Oh, my bad. Sorry. 0.2. Okay, moving on the second indices, that is zero index. Zero index, when you have a base, so it could be positive or negative integer for base, but with power 0. The power must be 0. So if you have a power 0, then we can call it as a zero index. So 10 to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Negative 0.3 to the power of 0 is also equal to 1. So you can just memorize any indices that have 0 power, so the answer will always equal to 1. Okay, so it's easy for zero index. So the third one is negative index. So negative index, when you have a base with negative power. So before you can calculate this index, you need to change the negative power to the positive power first. So how to make it positive? You need to move this index to denominator. So in fraction, we have numerator at the above and denominator at the bottom, right? So in order to make the power positive, so you need to move your indices to denominator. So to make you see it clearly, let us look at the first example. You have 3 to the power of negative 2. So before you calculate, move these indices to denominator first. So it will be 1 over 3 to the power of 2. Now the negative power will be positive after you move it to denominator. So then you can proceed. It will be 1 over 3 times 3. You multiply 3 for 2 times because it has power 2. Okay, let's take a look on the second example. Now you have a negative base with negative index. So you have to change the negative power first. How? Put it on denominator. So it will be 1 over negative 4 to the power of 3. Remember, the sign that changed is only your power, not your base. So this one will equal to 1 over negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. Alright, so you need to multiply with negative 4 for 3 times. Okay, so last but not least is ratio index. So ratio index when you have a power in fraction form. So there are two types of fraction form. The first one is when you have numerator always equal to 1. So the first one is a 1 over n. So you can put it in a root like this. So however, if you have a numerator not equal to 1, so this is the way you write it. Okay, so let's take a look on the example straight away. So this one, you have numerator 1, isn't it? So you can just write the root 2, 3. Okay, so the second one, you have the numerator which is not equal to 1. So the easiest way, you can put it like 8 to the power of 2, 3. Okay, your m is inside the root and your n is outside the root. So you can also rewrite it like 8 cube root bracket square. Next, let us take a look on properties of indices. There are several properties of indices. The first one, when you have the same base that you want to multiply with each other, but the condition is you should have the same base. And if you multiply, the answer will be, you can just add up the power. For example, this 2 to the power of 3 times 2 to the power of 2. The base that they have is 2. So they can just simply add up the power. 3 plus 2. So it's equal to 2 to the power of 5. Okay, the second properties is the same, but now you are dealing with operation division. So now you can just subtract the power. For example, 2 to the power of 5 divided by 2 to the power of 2. So the answer is 2 to the power of 5 minus 2. So you should get 2 to the power of 3. But remember, you must follow the rule, that is, they should have the same base. Okay, the third one, when you have a to the power of n, a to the power of m with bracket times another power, that is n. So what you can do is, you can just multiply the power. So for example here, you have 2 to the power of 2 times power of 3. So the answer will be 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, now when you have AB, meaning you have a different base with the same power, that is m. So you can rewrite by separate the base. So for this example, you can rewrite like 2 to the power of 3 times 5 to the power of 3. Okay, the same thing, just now you are dealing with multiplication, and now you are dealing with division, different base but with the same power. So you can separate them by writing 3 to the power of 3 divide 5 to the power of 3. Okay, so for number 6, you can refer to negative index, where when you're dealing with negative index, you should make it positive by move it to denominator. So the same thing, so it will be 1 over a to the power of 3. So once you move it to denominator, the negative index will turn to positive, index. Alright, so last but not least, for number 6, okay, there are two ways for you to solve this. Actually, for this is not 6, okay, it is actually number 7. So for number 7, actually, it is the same thing like number 2. Okay, so when you have the same base and you want to divide them, you can just simply subtract the power. So for this one, it will be A3 minus 2 equal to A power 1, or you can just simply write as A. Okay, there are another way for you to solve these indices. Okay, when you have a negative index at numerator, it will turn to positive index when you put it in denominator, right? So, but if you have a positive index, it will turn to negative index when you put it on denominator like this. So now you will have operation multiplication. Okay, so the base are the same, that is A. So 2 plus negative 3 is equal to 2 minus 3. So 2 minus 3 will give you A to the power of negative 1. Okay, so remember, when you have a negative index, you should make it positive by put it in denominator. So 1 over A. Okay, so 1 over A is actually equal to 1 divided by 1 over A. Okay, by using your prior knowledge, okay, you can change the symbol divide here to multiplication by switching the position. The top will go to the bottom and the bottom will go to the top, so it will be A over 1. So 1 times A over 1 is equal to A over 1, or you can just simply write as A. So the answer are the same but different method to solve it. Alright, so I think that's all for today's lesson. Thank you.